Okay. Yes. Go ahead now.
Thank you. Start करूं?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I continue?
Mm-hmm.
The yogi is thought to be superior to the aesthetics and even superior to men of knowledge, mere studies. He is also superior to men of action. Therefore, you strive to be a yogi, O Arjuna. In order to bring out the importance of meditation among the various practices in the science of spiritual development, Lord Krishna is making here a truly tabulated list of the various types of seekers, indicating the greatest of the whole lot. Compared with those who practice thoughtless and dull-witted physical self-denial, tapasvins, the meditator is certainly nobler.
Okay. I guess here it says nobler than those who.
Umaji, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. So mine is slightly different because the old version. It says the meditator nobler than those who vigorously read the scriptures and try to learn to remember the declaration of. Is that line there?
That's the next paragraph.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Then they just change the paragraph. So we saw the whole thing that he's talking about, because various type of practicing, and he's saying that just thoughtless practice and dull-witted physical denials. That's what we have to remember. Because when we were talking about, if somebody is doing the physical denial by keeping the right goal in mind just to train their mind, then it's perfectly fine. Because we do that, no? If I have to train my mind, then I start maybe with some food thing and all that. Those are okay, but just making that a goal and making everybody around you miserable because that's what you're focusing on, that's where he's telling you. So everybody understood that, right?
Thank you.
Go ahead.
More than those who vigorously read the scriptures and try to learn and remember their declarations,
Jnani.
Jnanis, is the yogi meditator nobler. There are others who strive towards the same bright peak of perfection, treading along the path of selfless work, karmis, undertaken in the world outside in a spirit of yagna, and those who perform worship, upasana, in a spirit of selfless dedication. These ritualistics, both in the secular and in the sacred fields of activities, believe that they can reach the infinite bliss through these very activities.
See, this is what it is. So those initial practices are very important, but just by itself you cannot reach there. That's why they say that even karma yoga, no matter how, action cannot culminate in this. It is some kind of shift in our mind that's going to change it. But what karma yoga can do is, if we have a lot of vasanas or a lot of desires in us, it will make it less. And it will, all the 6 dirts of the mind they talk about, kam, krodh, lo, moh, mad, matsarya, all that will keep becoming less with it. That's why you will become a seeker and you will want to merge and find out who God is. And in that process, you will, if you do correct things, then you will merge. So he's just cautioning again, as we discussed in our discussion already, that these paths are important in the beginning, but they cannot become just the goal itself.
Manji, I want to just bring out one point here. All that takes a lot of work.
Right.
But uske aage ka jo step hai, that is what gives you infinite bliss.
Yes.
And if people don't do that,
right,
all that work is wasted.
Absolutely. Now you said it as beautifully as anybody can. And that's what we are going to see in Kathopanishad 100%. That, the verse that we're going to do, it is going to match with it, because it's going to say that why all this hangama we do, itna mehnat hum log kyun karte hain, so that we get over our, shok. because नहीं तो हम शोक में बैठे रहते हैं. Something or the other bothers us, right? So that's what the whole goal is, and that you can get it with self-knowledge or merging with God or taking this higher step. True. So you see that a lot of people who do a lot of these things, but they are still miserable, right? And it could be us in that same boat. That we do so much, I'm doing so much studies, I'm doing so much tapas, I'm doing so much karma kand and all that. Why am I so miserable? Because I've not reached my final goal. That's why. True.
And can I read? Krishna concludes here that the silent and quiet meditator who struggles hard to withdraw himself from his own false identifications with his body, mind, and intellect through constant, consistent contemplation upon the nature of the self is ever the best.
This is the main, everybody should highlight this line, what he means by this. Now, Krishna here concludes that a silent and quiet meditator who struggles hard to withdraw himself from his false identifications with his body, mind, and intellect through constant and consistent contemplation upon the nature of self is ever the best. And that pratna we do, that verse 66 of chapter 18, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraj. That's what it means. The dharma of your body, mind, and intellect, drop everything and come to the higher. And then we are going to see that how in Kathopanishad also, that whole hierarchy is there. That, the mind is superior than the sense objects. Intellect is superior than the mind. And the most superior is the Atman. So you have to, all these things you merge in the Atman in the end. And once you do that, then you have no shok. That's what he's talking about.
Thus, comparing a meditator with a man of utter self-denial, B, deep students of the scriptures, and C, ritualists, Krishna concludes his observations that a meditator alone is the best among the whole lot, standing nearest to truth, and says, therefore, you be a yogi, meditator, O Arjuna.
So I got reminded of when I was listening to Nikhilanandji. He said, he was comparing it to our modern world that, बच्चे को बुला के you be a doctor, you be an engineer, बोलते हैं ना. कृष्ण भगवान ने अर्जुन को बुलाया, आंखों में आंखें डाल के बोला, you be a meditator. The main idea is that, hey, that is the final thing. Nobody's saying don't become an engineer, doctor, whatever your passion is, and for work we have to, but that's a secondary thing. So primary is, if once you become that meditator, you will be the best doctor, the best engineer, the best whoever you want to be. So it's saying that's what, and he's saying that this is the ultimate parent telling you now. He's like your own father, or like they say in Christianity, Father in heaven. So I thought that was very funny the way he said it.
The final paragraph. There are different types of meditators, each meditating upon a different point of contemplation. Who among them is then the best and the greatest meditator? Listen.
So that is the absolute final conclusion that we will do it next time. We already discussed it, what it is, but it just like I was saying that Krishna Bhagwan ne pura bataya everything about meditation in this chapter, and the final conclusion he's giving. And the final takeaway, that this is what you need to be doing. So if next time somebody says, hey, how do I meditate? Then all of us should be able to conclude that, hey, what is the right way to, do it? We should have no doubts left in our mind. मैं ये करूँ या वो करूँ या ये breathing करूँ या उस object का करूँ, We should have clarity that, what fits where in the puzzle and what is the final goal. I mean, after reading this thoroughly with all of you, I feel anybody who has any question on meditation, if they study chapter 6 correctly, it will benefit them immensely. They don't need to go anywhere asking anybody, you know. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah.
And Umaji, chapter 6 will be not once or twice. You have to read it many times.
Many times. I 100% agree with you. I mean, this is, you have to read it so many times and then it truly starts sinking in.
Yeah.
You know, Abhi, it is just, you know, like tip of the iceberg we got just by redoing it once. So I was thinking about it. I think this Geeta studies, it has to continue for us rest of the life. Once we finish chapter 18, we'll go back to 1. And this time, if all of you stick with us, then you guys can start, you know, kind of explaining. You know, so then when you do that, then you'll have to study and explain to everybody, and then we'll do that. We'll pick one person who's going to, you know, review it, and then others can join in and things like that. So that is my vision. I don't know, I'm thinking too far, but we have done 1/3 at least. 1/3 of it पहुंच गए हम लोग 6 chapter, you know. Yeah. So anyway, any other point? Okay, so we can go to Kathopanishad. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम.